Hello my friends, my name is Rich and welcome to Greatest Rock and Metal. On Greatest Rock and Metal I talk about what are for me the greatest bands, albums, gigs of all time, based on going to hundreds of gigs and listening to thousands of albums over many years. Please press the red button to subscribe to the channel. It's free, it's easy to do, and it won't take you very long. Thank you very much. Today is the kickoff of what is a series of 30th anniversary celebrations, because August and September 30 years ago there were just a mass of brilliant albums that have stood the test of time over these last 30 years, and the first of those that I'm going to be looking at is today. Released 30 years ago today on the 27th of August 1991, the amazing debut album from Pearl Jam titled 10. What an absolute classic this album is, and we'll talk more about that in a little while. Now, going back to the early 90s, there was this big wave of what became termed grunge bands, most of whom came from the Seattle area in the northern part of the United States of America. And what was crazy about this grunge scene is actually, even though these bands were lumped into this category, so you had the likes of Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, they were what would be considered the big bands in this scene. If you listen to them side by side, they all sound very different. There isn't really a commonality in their musical styles, other than the fact that they rock and they wrote bloody good songs. Other than that, they really went the gamut from hard rock to full-on heavy metal with a band like Alice in Chains for sure, and Soundgarden as well. But anyway, we're here to talk about Pearl Jam. In fact, it's interesting, just as an aside, all of those bands I just mentioned, Pearl Jam is the only one whose lead singer has survived. Kurt Cobain of Nirvana killed himself. Chris Cornell, Soundgarden, killed himself. Stone Temple Pilots, I forgot his name at the moment, Scott Weiland, that's it, pretty much killed himself through drugs and alcohol, and did Lane Staley of Alice in Chains. It's incredible to think that only one of the singers of those legendary bands has survived to this day. My introduction to this great album was with the first track that was released just before the album itself was released, the track Alive. And I will never forget seeing for the first time the video for that song and thinking, wow, this is an unbelievable song. It's got that brilliant riff. Talk more about that particular song later as well. So I had to find out more about Pearl Jam, and ever since, as you can see from the discography here, I've followed them right throughout their career. A bit of history about the band. They were formed in 1990 from the ashes of a band called Mother Love Bone, another band where the lead singer killed himself. And unfortunately, the band then, as a result of Andrew Wood, their singer, killing himself, the band was over pretty much before it started. So two of the other main guys in that band, Jeff Ament, bass player, and Stone Gossard, guitarist, decided to go off and form Pearl Jam. It's interesting to think, if Andrew Wood had remained, would we have seen these kind of songs in the Mother Love Bone catalogue that Pearl Jam produced? Or was really the finding of the amazing vocalist and songwriter Eddie Vedder the key to the creation of Pearl Jam? Something to think about. The first three Pearl Jam albums, 10, Verses and Vitality are just unbelievable albums, and for me they've never been topped. They've got a great discography, don't get me wrong, but those first three albums are just unbelievable, and they were the massive sellers in their discography. And actually it's quite incredible that even today Pearl Jam remain headliners of festivals and of arena gigs all over the world, because they've done a lot in their career to kind of push down their following. They went through a period of time once they had that amazing success in the early 90s where they didn't really want to make any videos for their songs, which was a big thing then in the days of MTV. They didn't like to do interviews. When they would play their gigs, they wouldn't necessarily play the hits. And even today, you don't know what you're going to get from a Pearl Jam set list, which for me, as a long-time fan, is brilliant. I love the fact that you can go to a gig and you've got no idea from night to night what the set list is going to be. I think that's amazing that they're such quality band that they're able to do that. And their career, as I say, is still going on today. They've recently released their now 11th studio album, Gigaton, which not that great in terms of some of the others in their discography. Yeah, it's had rave reviews everywhere, but as a long-time Pearl Jam fan, to be honest, was a little bit disappointed by it. But never been disappointed, even 30 years on, with this amazing album. It's their biggest selling album to date. For me, it remains their best album. Every single track on here is perfection. There is not a dud amongst them. We've got a real variety of lyrical themes on it, a variety of vocals from Vedder, who's got an amazing voice that really can scream it with the best of them, or nice and bring it down for the nice little mellow ballads. Whatever you want, Vedder can deliver. As can the band. As musicians, they are just unbelievable musicians, great songwriters, and this really does encapsulate everything that is brilliant about Pearl Jam. So before I talk about my favourite four, let's have a look at this vinyl version of the album. This was a recent re-release of it, only available in the Target supermarket store in the United States, and it's a purple vinyl version. You get a paper inner sleeve with the lyrics and the credits there. And then inside we have this beautiful pressing on like almost like a purple marbly effect, and very, very nice sound on it as well to my ears. Some of you vinyl aficionados may disagree, but when I crank it up, it sounds damn good to me. Pearl Jam. Nice. So, what about this 10 album then? Well, my favourite four. Really impossible to pick just 4 tracks from such an amazing album, but I'm going to do it. The first one I will choose is the second song on the album, Even Flow. It's like a almost funky hard rock song, but it's got a massive big riff, soaring vocals, and a brilliant breakdown section in the middle where it just cools everything down a little bit before getting back into the massive sing-along chorus. A great live song and a great song on this album. And it then goes straight into my second favourite, the big single, the track that everybody knows for Pearl Jam, Alive. As I mentioned earlier, this was the first song of theirs I heard, and wow, a riff. What a riff. All the biggest metal and rock songs in the world have an amazing riff, and this has got an amazing riff. Very, very memorable. Another great sing-along chorus and stunning guitar outro work on this. Great, great track. The third track I will choose is Porch. What the fuck is this world running to? What a song, what a song. I'll never forget seeing them deliver this song on MTV Unplugged. Took the song to a whole new level. It really was fantastic. And it's a brilliant, brilliant vocal performance from Vedder on this song. And it's just got a great beat to it. It really is just a song that makes you want to get up and yeah, that's all I can say. And then a complete opposite, and my fourth pick, and it's the track that closes out the album if you forget the instrumentally bit at the end. It's the song Release. I would while away hours in my bedroom with the lights down just listening to this song. I think it's a stunning, stunning song. Very, very mellow kind of song. Vedder wrote it about his father that he never knew, and wow, just stunning vocal performance. And sometimes they actually open their gigs with this track, and strangely for such a low-key song, it's a brilliant opening track as well. Not an opening track for an album, but certainly can be a great opening track for a gig, because it starts off so slow and then it builds up to this massive vocal crescendo near the end. Brilliant, brilliant track. I love it. So that's my thoughts on the 10 album. They're my favourite 4, but as I said at the beginning, you really cannot go wrong with this album. There is not a bad song on here. Now, unfortunately, I never got to see the band live on the 10 tour. But I did get to see them on their next tour, and it was the Versus tour, and they came and played a show at Brixton Academy in London for the princely sum of £10 English. This gig was in July 1993, and wow, I mean, Pearl Jam were huge now by this time. And the UK had been waiting with bated breath for them to return to play gigs, and the tickets for this gig just went like gold dust, and luckily enough I was able to get my hands on one. And what a brilliant, brilliant show it was. It was a 19-song set list. Brixton Academy is perfect for a band like Pearl Jam. They were in their heyday. They still had all the power and the energy. Energy in the early days of Pearl Jam was unbelievable. Like a lot of bands, 30 years on, the energy's not quite what it used to be, but it's still there for Pearl Jam, but nowhere near what it was like here in 1993. And this set list, of course, they only had 2 albums out at this time, the debut and their follow-up Versus. But we pretty much, like I say, with 19 songs, got pretty much everything from their discography at that time. We also got a new song thrown in, Rats, that was going to appear on the next album, and a cover of the Dead Boys' Sonic Reducer, a cover song that they often have played throughout their career. The standout tracks, well, the brilliant opener, Why Go, another classic from the 10 album, that really got the gig off with flying colours. Alive, which was kind of mid-set, great way to be able to, that shows the strength of a Pearl Jam discography, when they can throw their biggest song halfway in the middle of the show. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. As you can imagine, huge euphoria when that one was played. And another song that really stands out all these years later that I'll never forget, Rearview Mirror. Such a brilliant, powerful song, amazing live The way again it kind of builds up to this big crescendo at the end. I saw the band many times over the course of their career since this first time, and they always put on a great show, but I have to say nothing will ever top this gig in their early days. It really was an amazing gig. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on the 30th anniversary of the album 10. And in fact, around this time as well, it's I believe the 25th anniversary of the No Code album, which was their 4th studio album. So basically, happy anniversary to Pearl Jam. And all you Pearl Jam fans, of course you're going to be getting out your 10 album and blasting it in celebration today, as I have done already and will do again later. Thank you very much for watching. Please press the red button to subscribe to the channel. And remember, as always, we rock!